And good morning is 7:03 on this Tuesday, March 10th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody. We welcome you on a Tuesday morning and glad to have you with us. Glad to be on the air for Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, where they offer the 30 minutes or less ER service pledge, less waiting time where it matters most in the emergency room. In a medical emergency, every minute does count, so at Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital right here in Lebanon, you'll find faster care in their emergency room. They work diligently to have you initially seen by a medical professional in 30 minutes or less, and with a team of dedicated medical specialists, they can provide a lot more care if you need it. Now, I know with all that's happened in the last week, we've kind of forgotten about Walk Across Wilson, but the event is still going on, and its title sponsor is Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. The kickoff event was held on Saturday, February 1st, and the finale celebration is scheduled for Saturday, March 21st, and it will be at 9 a.m. at the Wilson County Board of Education, the Old Lebanon High School. So if you are participating, if you're part of a team, you'll want to keep that in mind. A couple of other things I'll mention this morning before we get to our guests. And one is that the Brooks House is having an open house this Sunday, March 15th from 3 to 5 p.m. They are going to be showcasing the newly renovated rooms, and Liz Reese invites everybody to come and take a look. Refreshments and drinks will be served, and this will be between 3 and 5 p.m., and that is coming up this Sunday, March 15th. And on the fourth Tuesday of this month, the library roast will be held at Castle Heights Elementary, Tuesday, March 24th, 7 p.m., and tickets are available, $35. You get a table for 8 for $250. And this year is going to be a great one, no doubt, as we have a special person to be roasted this year. Ray, you know who that special person is?
No, I don't.
It is Dory Mitchell.
Dory Mitchell, what a sweet
And
lady.
so it's going to be worth the price of admission just to see all of this. So just a reminder there, and this is presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, and my guests this morning are from the city of Mount Juliet. Let me welcome, first of all, Jamie Luffman, who is the
city manager.
Well, we can call you Little Kenny.
Yeah, we'll go. Well, since there's already a big Kenny who's made it.
Jamie Luffman, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Well, we're going to laugh a little bit because hopefully we're through crying, I guess. But Commissioner Ray Justice is here, who represents District 1, and I've already said hello, but hello again.
Well, good morning, sir.
And you have your daughter here.
I did. I brought my daughter, Autumn, with us this morning. She's never been to the radio station. I told her, well, Dad used to work here, so I'm going to bring her up
really
here.
did. Autumn, good morning to you. Can you say good morning?
She's smiling.
All right.
You have to say good morning now. honey.
Well, so much has happened since I saw either one of you. And by the way, did you have a commission meeting last night?
Yes, sir. We did.
You did. All right. Well, you want to? Was anything significant, big news coming out of it?
No, sir. No, there was not anything. We deferred probably 3 or 4 pieces of it. I was just going through here looking. We did pass last night a new development. It's going to be a very nice development near the Mount Juliet Church of Christ called the District. And we were able to get that and work through some issues that we had on it and get it passed. And we approved, of course, we had already approved by communication outside the normal circumstances, $300,000 for grapple trucks for the debris removal. I don't know if you've heard, but we had a tornado. And so we had to kind of move on our feet and move a little differently than what we normally would. Get those trucks down there for the public works guys to start that debris removal. So able to do that. Other than that, not a whole lot going on. Just some small incidentals and some house cleaning issues. We did approve, after about 20 minutes of debate, the contract for City Manager Kenny Martin, for him to continue to be the city manager. I say about 20 minutes of debate. It was actually it was a mini roast, is what it was.
It was the worst 20 minutes of his life, I guarantee.
What did he get a raise?
Not substantial. But, we let him keep his job and aggravated him for 15 minutes is what it amounted to. We needed the little lightness last night.
I have an idea the two of you were the main agitators.
Well, I don't limit mine to 20 minutes. I don't know about my brother over there. We've been Pancho and lifting it for many years.
Jamie and I have been running together for about 40 years, so as long as I've been up here. But and it was enjoyable. I will tell you that I was sitting at the table, so I got to aggravate Ed Haggerty, our mayor. He was enjoying himself also, and Jamie was pretty much out in the audience back there with tears coming down, laughing. So, but
I wish they'd have called a recess right in the middle of that.
What's the biggest gig you got in there last night?
Oh no, nothing, because budget season's right around the corner. I'm not going to hurt that man's feelings for nothing. I'll tell him anything he wants to know.
Well, now, is this contract have a length, or is it just a continuation? Or?
It's a continuation of what it was.
Day to day.
Day to day, yeah.
Just like the rest of
We're going to reconsider it at each meeting.
Oh, please don't. That's going to make my life tough.
Well, is that enough about last night's meeting then?
Guys, plenty.
That was the highlight, actually. That
was the highlight.
That was the highlight, yes, sir.
We didn't have much citizen comments, so I'm assuming everybody was there for the show.
Well, let's talk about the tornado that came through last Tuesday morning. In fact, it was about a little over a week ago right now, and a lot has happened in a week's time.
Yes, a lot has happened. I'll tell you what, the things that I got to say before 1 o'clock, and everything that I've seen from that moment till now has led me to just, all I want to do is give glory to God for the wonders that I've seen from the citizens, the responders, their attitudes. You know, the first patients that I worked on was an elderly couple. She had a broken arm. He was covered in lacerations. And I came in with my, normal spiel, middle of the night normal spiel. Hello, pretty lady. And we went to work. And they were in good. They had a great attitude. Of course, they were hurting, and we took care of that. Had a nurse there that I used to work with from Summit, and we worked on getting them bandaged up and got them taken care of. But, I mean, it was just the amount of work that we could get done in a short period of time. A testimony to one family who lost everything. If you go over on Fairview right now, I can show you their house, and they have a driveway and a slab. That's it. And when I was over there doing damage assessment and surveying, the little girl that lives there, she come up and she says, "Do you remember me?" And I said, "No, I'm sorry. Don't let the old face fool you. I'm that." And she said, "We were the ones last night in the Jeep giving y'all rides around the neighborhood." And so they came out. They saw that their house was destroyed. The only thing that was operational was their old Jeep, and they came down and picked us up and took us through the neighborhood so that we could rescue and pull others out of the debris. And so that kind of gave me pause for that, and I used it I unplugged Sunday and went to church and taught my Sunday school class, but I used that to tell the kids, it's not what, it's what you do. It's when you pick yourself up. When something like that happens. I think it's John 16:33 says that in this world you'll have tribulation, but be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. I mean, we're going to have storms. We hear the storms of life. I'm raised, we probably brought 6-7 songs about storms of life. Working on 3 or 4 more. But
how many people, how many injuries like this, not life-threatening maybe, but people that had to be cared for after the tornado went through?
We had 3 parts of the neighborhood, or 3 parts of the center of the city, residential, that were affected the most. And I had Clearview, Fairview, Barrett, and Weston. And over there, I probably called for, I want to say, about 6 or 7 transports. Some of them were 2, doubled up. We did call in for convalescent, and first call the convalescent carrier answered the call. I had about 6 or 7 more ambulances over there staging, and we were bringing people down in the side-by-side and the four-wheelers that we had. But, yeah, I'd probably say somewhere around a dozen, maybe a few more. A lot of folks they have good places to hide over there. But you see a spot, and if it's got a closet standing, you know where they were. Mm-hmm. That's where they were in that. There was always one spot. Everything else could be gone, but where they were was still standing, and it held for what it needed to do, and save their lives and get them through this point.
Well, you had one elderly couple, I understand, yes, that died as the storm passed through.
Jim and Donna Eaton, yes, they were taken to glory during this time, and I've had people ask me, where was God during all this time? I said He was with Jim and Donna. He was with everybody. He was with Brandy Barker, security guard we lost over at the Siva complex. I believe in all my heart that he was there, that he sheltered them from that noise and that storm, and it was time for them to go home and claim their reward. Jim and I have worked out next to each other. We're part of the Monday, Wednesday, Friday Planet Fitness Club, 4 a.m. So you don't do a lot of talking. You say, morning, how you doing? All right. Saturday is when we hold off for, how's your mom and them and blah, blah, blah. But Jim and I sat on the same 2 ellipticals there at Planet Fitness for, I know, the last 2, maybe 2.5 years. Working outside. He was in fit. And, of course, he's way older. Well, we'll say way older. He's a little older than I am, and I wasn't going to let him win. He'd go fast. I'd go faster.
All right, I got 2 questions, one for each of you. Mm-hmm. Just quick, just wondering, your personal, your residence, was any damaged at your house?
No, sir. I live up above Ed Rice's ham store and Windtree Trace, and no, when all of that was going on, none of that.
Ray, what about you?
No, sir. I was standing on the front porch on the telephone with Art Giles, one of our other commissioners, who was in his office while the tornado was hitting it.
Yeah. So you saw it in the distance?
No, you didn't see anything. You could hear it very vividly. From Jamie and I lived less than a mile from each other, and when I walked out on the front porch, you could hear the sirens from Charlie Daniels Park. And then I didn't hear the sirens, and I thought, well, did they quit? And then all of a sudden the train come through.
Yeah.
You could hear it vividly, and then the sirens came back, so you knew it had passed.
Okay, well, that's the way it was a little over a week and a few hours ago. We are on the air for Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. My guest this morning, Jamie Luffman, Fire Chief for the City of Mount Juliet, Ray Justice, Commissioner for District 1. A break here and more coming up on Company FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:17. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by Absolute Kubota and Rental Land Pride. Quality tractor implements including cutters, finish mowers, box blades, tillers, and more. 5-year gearbox warranty, extremely durable and well built. 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. A couple of different wrecks here scattered down I-24 westbound between Briley and 440. Yes, that's where the traffic flow is the heaviest, coming in from Rutherford County out of Murfreesboro there on 24 westbound again, just before you get to 440 on a couple of different wrecks. Ellington Parkway at James Robertson trying to clear up that accident. Heavy through Mount Juliet right now, 40 going westbound into Hermitage. Buying or selling your home, call Nikisha or Tony Tate at Exit Master Realty, 554-9795. I'm Commander.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
Vanderbilt Health is honored to announce the newest addition to our family of hospitals, Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital in Lebanon. This hospital will provide care for Wilson County residents with the goal of improving the health and well-being of our newest community. Hospitals are for healing, new life, and recovery. They're places of innovation and learning. At the end of the day, hospitals are all about one thing: community. Thank you for welcoming us into yours. Let's do great things together.
Coleman and Company, our program presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. And this reminder here, according to Senator Mark Pody, A portion of Interstate 40 between Highway 109 and Mount Juliet will be closed this week for 1 to 2 hours at a time by TDOT to allow the TVA to work on replacing power towers. The work will start at 9 a.m. Wednesday, weather allowing, and that would be tomorrow, and involve a helicopter bringing in new towers, and it could take several days once it gets started. So just a word of caution here to be prepared. You might, if possible, take an alternate route.
Come on down Lebanon Road. We got three of the best donut shops in the center of the world right there. We got Gourmet Donuts. We have got Donut Time, and then get on up to the top of the hill, and we'll give you some
Dunkin' Donuts.
Give you a Dunkin'.
Right.
Tell you what, you sound more like Kenny every day.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, donuts.
Shucks.
Donuts are not just restricted to cops. Okay,
Yeah. That's the only food known to man to retain its shape after digestion, by the way.
And we have come up, by the way, Coleman. We understand now why God created police officers.
Well, okay.
Here it comes.
Firemen need heroes too.
But I'm hey.
Yeah, so throw that out there.
Breaking new ground.
I love the banner between firemen and police.
Oh yeah,
it's sort of like two car salesmen. One,
well, they tell all the time
one from General Motors and one from Ford.
That's it. Yeah. I get asked all the time. Kids say, "Are you a cop?" I said, "No, I do Band-Aids, not bullets." I said, you give me a gun and a quota, I won't work a day past Wednesday.
Well, you were saying during the break here, Ray, that you had so many volunteers, you had to turn some away, I think.
Yeah, I had talked to Kenny Martin early on, and Kenny appointed me as liaison between the faith-based community, the volunteers, and the first responders. And so during the course of this whole thing, I found out really quick they were overwhelmed, because they were trying to do their job, but then we had people who were wanting to come into the neighborhoods and see what had happened.
Yeah.
So Tyler Chandler came up with I'm not sure it was on purpose, but it worked out really well. He wanted everybody to register to be a
policeman, right?
I'm sorry, yes, Captain Tyler Chandler. And so it kind of slowed the process down, where people were like, okay, we have to register, so this is going to be more organized. That was being one of those deals where perception is reality, because it was a perception that it was that organized. It really was not reality at that point. But it did slow everybody down and kept them out of the neighborhoods so that the first responders, Jamie's guys, and the police officers could get in and do their job. Then, of course, we had over 4,000 people registered. So on Friday and Saturday, I had reached out to Pastor Darrell Crouch, and he put me in touch with some people that Regina Girton with Providence United Methodist Church. She's very good at organizing things. And so when I got that information, I brought her in. We put her to work. We had Candy McElhannon, Callie Heatherly. And those are the three ladies that I kind of brought in and said, hey, guys, y'all take over and run with this. You've heard me say this. Mm-hmm. You want something talked about, give it to a guy. You want something done, give it to a lady.
Yeah. Those Ray's angels.
Exactly. Those were Ray's angels, literally.
Ray Justice, recovery czar.
Yeah. I kind of like that.
I thought you might.
Yeah.
Stop. I sign Aronima on the way home.
We need to talk. But we were able to get people into the neighborhoods. We had people that came from as far away as Maine, Iowa, obviously Indiana, Indianapolis. Indiana was one of the cities. Chicago, Illinois. We had one from we had 2 or 3 actually from Texas. To the point that I was on the telephone with Randall Hutto, our county mayor, who was a godsend to us, honestly. And just his communication, his demeanor, and what he was able to accomplish, and just it was odd to listen to him talk, because it was so measured in the way he was speaking and the way he was getting things accomplished. So,
and the fact that his house sustained damage.
Exactly.
And somebody else, Mickey Hall. Remember,
Mickey Hall with the school.
Mickey Hall's working with us, and he's got damage. So, these people did not let their personal thing get it. It didn't debilitate them from aiding and abetting the rest of us in the county.
We had Maria Lee, who came down, the governor's wife, and came in and stopped and talked to us. And I think they changed their plans at one point, and whether she was going to work for maybe 30 minutes, and then make a showing just for support to us. And I think she wound up in Mount Juliet for 6 hours working. Mm-hmm. And she was dressed for work. She looked like she came straight out of the cattle barn, too, buddy.
They put me in front of her, but they didn't tell me who she was.
And by the way, that was a mistake.
I got to go see her husband next week.
Yeah, and apologize. He did his best comedy stand-up routine right there in the middle of the parking lot. No. He did not know who she was.
She said, "We just come down here to support and pray for you." Well, get a green bean casserole and take up a collection. Let's go full Baptist on this thing.
He really did. Yeah. But I've got to tell you, and I'm going to let me say this first. We had a 3-phase plan. That 3-phase plan included going in and getting the infrastructure put back in place, at least to the point to where we could get our public works and folks in. And Jamie and these guys, after taking care of the initial wave of first responders, handled it. They were unbelievable. Our police officers, our fire department, I don't know what we'd have done without them. And they were, we're blessed to have these guys. Second part, my daughter with the coronavirus. The second phase of that was the bring in and partner with the faith-based community, because they are better able to serve and to love on the people that we need to love it on. So we partnered with them to get that done and pulled off the volunteer effort. And then the third phase is where we're at now, is to take and put the faith-based community and the nonprofits in a position, and then source to them so we can actually be in a support role to our community more so. There's some people out there, as it said, Mayor Hutto, Donna Wright, our director of schools, and Mickey Hall, God bless his heart. Robert Bryan had people down with us working, Sheriff Bryan, amazing job on his behalf, and the folks that were down there on his behalf. Mayor Ed Haggerty, Kenny Martin, from the top of the totem pole up here to all the way to the bottom. And I say bottom respectfully, because I don't think that there's people that have not been behind a desk at work in many years. Mm-hmm. Janet Southers, who's our HR director, was with me on Friday and Saturday registering volunteers. These people were phenomenal, and because of it, you can actually go into those subdivisions and see what happened and how it got fixed.
I've made it a priority to get to write down everyone who's contributed to this cause, everybody that's come through the command post, not just firefighters, which I've got to say, FEMA have all been fantastic. Mark Folks, chief down in Murfreesboro with the incident management team, they came in at 10 o'clock and made my life worth living again. So it was all good. But literally, it would take me 30 minutes to read this list that I have here on the phone.
I want to ask this: where are we now, and what is yet to be done, and what message do we need to give out this morning?
The message that I want everybody. And I would recommend that the people in Lebanon and anybody in Putnam County, they probably think the same thing. This is the message that I'm giving to everybody. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. Don't come in and wipe out your energy early, because when that happens, it's like a football team. They always practice for the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Well, we're only in probably the halfway through the first quarter of this thing. So, everybody needs to just know that there is a place for them. And the volunteers, I'm still getting calls, literally 75 to 100 phone calls yesterday. And I'm telling everybody the same thing. There is going to be a place and a time when we need you. If you don't mind, just stand down for a second and let us take a breath so we can figure out where we're at. Our Rocky Lee and Andy Barlow, our public works guys and our park guy, Rocky, was unbelievable and turned the community center into a warehouse for food. We have nothing left as far as gymnasium goes. Yeah. We are chock full. Now we've got to get everything out to everybody, and that's kind of where we're at right now.
And what doesn't go to the city of Mount Juliet, we've had talks of sending it farther east to Putnam County, because I know they're going to need. They were hit a little worse than we were.
Has most of the debris been at least moved and put in piles?
We've got, if you drive down any one of these streets, you've got two piles. You've got trees and anything that's not a tree.
Yeah. Well, and hopefully we got metal added into that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
To separate them.
Household debris in one pile, or tree and organics in the other. And that's what we're coordinating. I'm still manning the command post for as Middle Tennessee Electric, who I got to take hats off, those guys are machines for what they have done. I watched them string across Mount Juliet Road in like maybe less than 5 minutes. And these guys were humping it and huffing it. And there's a lot of growling going on out there. I mean, they were reaching down, getting some. But no, as they start to energize off the main branch into these neighborhoods, of course, they're destroyed, so we can't trace the wires all the way. And we have had some places in the county where they go to re-energize and it causes a spark. And so it's not the worst thing in the world. It's just a small fire in a debris pile.
Yeah.
But we want to make sure that if anybody's still got some standing structure, that it doesn't cost them that. And so we're manning that in the neighborhoods.
And we also have we sent over 1,500 volunteers to Lebanon and Cookville from Mount Juliet. Yeah. Just come to us looking for a place to go, and I'd start calling William Glover with Lebanon, who's unbelievable. That man, very impressive.
He's good. He's billable. End on a light note. When we get done here, I've got to go back west. He's going to run up to Linwood Road exit and see the Linwood BP. I heard a guy, James Copas, the shift commander of Wilson County EMA, gave me a sit rep on that, said it was gone. Yeah. Said the only two things standing were the beer cooler and the bathroom. I said, well, as far as I'm concerned, it's open for business because that's where I spent most of my time up there.
Well, I guess that's a good one to end on. We've had from the city of Mount Juliet, Fire Chief Jamie Luffman and Commissioner Ray Justice, who represents District 1, and kind of summarizing all that's happened since the tornado hit. And it's still cleanup. It's still a long way to go. And as you said, a marathon, not a sprint. So thank you all for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Coleman.
And our program presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. Stay with us for more here on Coleman and Company FM 98.9.
7:30 now. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. We want to thank Bates Ford, and they have the Works Vehicle Checkup. 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal. Tire rotation and safety check. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. Traffic still very busy out here as we check it out live here on 24 westbound, passing Harding Place. You got all these accidents scattered down. 24 westbound here, approaching 440. It's been quite active in that area. Now there's a crash in Jolton, 24 eastbound near Whites Creek Pike. That was just a matter of time before that happened. You got all that traffic volume coming in from Clarksville and Jolton in that area right now. Hey, Princess Hot Chicken is the original hot chicken in Middle Tennessee. Check it out today for lunch. 5814 Nolensville Pike. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Welcome to Hearthside Senior Living, Lebanon's unique senior living community designed for seniors to age in place, all within a safe, comfortable, and Christian environment. Beautiful retirement homes designed for an independent lifestyle with maintenance-free living. Hearthside Senior Living also continues the excellent tradition of assisted living for those seniors who need additional services. Hearthside Senior Living, an independent retirement community and assisted living community, all on one campus in the heart of Lebanon. Call 615-443-1994 for a tour.
Cumberland University Baseball is live this season on WANT and WCOR. Tune in for all of the home games and all of the Mid-South Conference matchups with Coach Woody Hunt's 3-time champion Cumberland Phoenix baseball team. Mitch Walters brings you all of the action on WANT FM 98.9 and WCOR AM 1490. For a complete schedule, visit GoCumberlandAthletics.com. It's live Cumberland University Baseball on WANT and WCOR.
This morning, a few scattered showers will be moving through the area. Once these rain showers move out, the rest of your day will be dry. Highs today will top out in the upper 60s. Off and on rain showers are in the forecast on Wednesday, with temperatures on Wednesday reaching the upper 60s. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty. Professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist TJ Scott.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us, for tuning in each day. We are always glad to have you with us, and we are we're ready to talk about Hearthside now. And
I missed you last week, Coleman. I was going to call in, but I think the radio station was off for a couple hours. I think Billy said about 12:15 you were back on the air, so I didn't get to talk to you, but I thought about you, and we were over at Hearthside making sure all the residents were safe. We had I told them we had a tornado drill, Coleman. We had a tornado drill. We have to have we do a tornado drill once once a year, so that was our tornado drill. And when I got there about 1:30 a.m., they were all in the safe place, and they all did a great job. The staff did a great job making sure they were all safe. So
we did miss you last
thank
week,
you.
but we missed everybody last week
because
because the power was off.
Right.
And I was out here, but as I've told a few people, Billy and MJ and I sat out there in the lobby and talked to each other without any coffee, without any electricity, until a little bit after 8 o'clock. I don't know what they did, but I left.
Yeah.
I was through.
Well, we missed you. I'm glad you were here. I'm glad, on a lighter note, I'm glad the radio station was spared, but
yes.
it was a night to remember for sure.
Sean Dozier is Executive Director of Hearthside Senior Living, and it does include not only assisted living, but a retirement community. And each Tuesday he comes here and we talk about it. But I guess big talk at your place and everywhere else has been the tornado and the damage and everything resulting from all this the last week.
Right. Everything was good at Hearthside. We were, of course, just I guess north of the tornado. But again, I want to thank our staff. They did a great job getting our residents. We have 44 residents, so they have to make sure they're all up and make sure they all get to the safe place. And again, they did a great job. When I got there, they were all huddled, and we've got our fire drill over our tornado drill over for the year. We do one tornado drill a year, and then Coleman, and they love me for this, we do a fire drill every month. So every shift we have to do a fire drill. So this month we have to do one on the 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. shift. So that's their favorite fire drill right there. So I always have to surprise them. So we'll have to do that.
They don't know ahead of time.
No, they're not supposed to know.
Okay.
Now, sometimes it leaks out. But I try to keep it secure. But we have to do that fire drill this month. That's when they have to either stay up late or get up early. I'm not very popular that day, but anyway, I just want to compliment our staff, and I want to add to the voices that have complimented Middle Tennessee Electric. They did a great job. We got back on about 9:30 p.m. that night, and we were so happy to see the electricity. We had our gas stove, so we were able to cook and keep our residents well fed. I want to thank Carthage. Carthage, Smith County, they were hit, but over in Carthage, the McDonald's and also the Pizza Hut were able to they brought us food. We didn't need it, but they brought us food. So we really appreciated it. The residents enjoyed the pizza, and they enjoyed McDonald's breakfast, and that was a treat for them. So I want to thank them. A lot of people stepped up. The Lebanon Fire Department was there when we needed them. The Lebanon Police Department was there when we needed them. We had a couple of things we needed, but it was just a great.
So the current would have gone off, I guess, about the time the tornado was. So 1:30 or so.
That's right.
And off till 9:30 that night, or in that neighborhood.
That's correct.
What did you do all that time? Now you said you could cook because you had gas, but
we did. Well, we had activities. We did a lot of things. What we usually do. We just went about our normal daily business without
do you have
electricity.
Some candles, or
no, we can't use candles in the assisted living. I would tell you if we did. No, we didn't. We had lanterns. We went to Tractor Supply and got some, of course, some more flashlights and some lanterns, and we just went about our daily business. Had a lot of activities planned that day, and we fed them all day. They were very happy.
Any problem with heating?
No, that we didn't have any air, but it wasn't. It wasn't, they get cold very easily, but it wasn't, it was a mild day, if I remember correctly. It wasn't too bad. Nobody was complaining, but it was a great team effort, and I want to thank everybody, assisted livings, nursing homes, independent living, we depend upon our first responders, and they were there for us. Middle Tennessee Electric did a great job, so I want to thank everybody for that.
Well, very, very well said, and I just almost marvel at the people at Middle Tennessee Electric.
It's amazing.
How quick they can respond. And, of course, it's still, when you have that many out of power, it takes a while. And some of the damage that was sustained here is not it's not like a little storm that passed through. This was a big EF3 tornado.
It really was. And I remember when Chris Jones is over at Middle Tennessee Electric now. I guess he's the president now. Yeah. But I remember back when he was writing press releases for Middle Tennessee Electric, and now he's in charge of the whole operation. And I emailed him the other day just to thank him. But it's a marvel what they do.
Well, you got a hard side hello today?
I do. Tim Diffenderfer. You know Tim Diffenderfer?
Yeah.
He spoke at Kiwanis the other day, and he said, I listened to you on Coleman, and I know he's been on here a couple of times. But
yeah, hadn't been too long ago he was here.
So I wanted to say hello to Tim, and he's also doing drug-free Wilco, I believe, and he's very involved in our community. So, Tim, hello, and thanks for speaking at Kiwanis the other day.
Well, is that it?
Well, it's spring break, so... Your next guest is on spring break.
Hardside Senior Living Retirement Assisted Living Community, 215 Castle Heights Avenue North. Sean Dozier's Executive Director. Betty Kelly is the Activities Director still. And you've got a lot going for it when it's time for a helping hand.
Come by and see us, Coleman.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you next time. All right, we're about 21 before the hour, and School Director Scott Benson joins us this morning. And good morning.
Good morning from the Lebanon Special School District, Coleman.
Likewise, from us. You're on break?
We are. This is spring break week.
I knew it was. I didn't. I know your calendars with the county don't coincide 100%, and that's why I asked, because I was thinking it was, but I wasn't sure. But you're out, they're out. There's no school buses out there this week.
Other than our neon buses that are rolling, and I'm sure we'll get around to that. But yes, we are not picking up children in our buses for school this week. So yeah, just probably much needed spring break, good timing for everybody in the community as well.
Well, I have asked nearly everybody that's come out here as a guest to tell us everybody's got a story about either they had some damage from the tornado, or they knew about it, or when they found out. So what's your story?
Right, I've got a story, yeah, and I'll just continue with everything that I've heard on your show so far this morning. I was listening on the way in to the folks from Mount Juliet, and of course Sean here talking about it as well. But you asked specifically my story, so I'll start, I guess, on that Monday night when the tornado came through. We were tracking my wife and I were tracking the tornado on my phone. And I told you off the air, I think for the first time that I can remember, we went in our safe place at the house there in our closet in the middle of the house, and we're tracking it. So we were tracking it right up Leeville Pike. Mm-hmm. And as soon as it passed, I can remember them on my phone saying, headed towards Tugger's Crossroads at that point. So I got in my car and went over towards Winfrey Bryant, and because that's right where the tornado was coming through, and believed when I got there, and that we did not sustain any damage there or any of our other schools. And it took us the next morning when daylight broke to really grasp all that, but we didn't sustain any damage in our schools.
But what a relief that must have been.
Yeah, it was. I driving over there again, just because I tracked the storm and I had the path closely, that I was really hoping for the best, praying for the best, but expecting the worst. Driving into the driveway there, we had one tree down in between Winfrey Bryant and College Hills, and of course we were without electricity. I think till Thursday there on that side of town with Winfrey Bryant and Byers Dowdy Elementary. But with all the damage and everything going on in the community, we closed schools, obviously. Let's see, that happened Monday night, so we were closed the rest of the week, Tuesday through Friday, and then of course this week being spring break. Right. But lots to talk about though related to the storm as well. We of course 12-month employees worked. Actually, I closed the office on Tuesday, but we started working Wednesday. But I was in the office along with several others on Tuesday. But we sort of mobilized on that day and Tuesday, the morning after, and talked about how ways we could support the community. And so Beth Petty, Beth, yep. Instrumental in our efforts here, Family Resource Center, Community Relations for the district, and Angie Ballard, who's our nutrition supervisor, Angie worked really hard first couple of days there to get our neon buses rolling. Mm-hmm. So we started rolling Wednesday, Coleman, going out into the community to areas of need. And we do that in the summer. You're well aware of that. And we feed children in the summer. But we were feeding anybody that needed to be fed, and we were feeding victims of the storm. We were feeding volunteers that were helping, so we started. We were boots on the ground almost immediately after the storm. So really proud of our folks, and thankful that we were able to get out and support the community. We're still doing that. Coleman, you wouldn't believe the activity in the past week at our Family Resource Center. Again, that started almost immediately with folks in the community, volunteers from the community, faith-based folks in the community, but especially our teachers and our staff. We've literally had hundreds and over 100 volunteers a day that have been reporting into the Family Resource Center, both with donations and also loading cars. Many of our teachers have been loading their cars, their personal vehicles, with supplies and food and such, and they're going right out to the areas of need. We had them wearing their Lebanon Special School District badge, name tag, because a lot of these areas were shut off, and we had LPD were not allowing people in unless they had a reason to be in. So they were allowing us to come in, and because we had a reason there to support our families. So again, just tremendous support from the entire community, and you hear that from Nashville to Cookeville and beyond. We heard it from Mount Juliet this morning, and Lebanon has definitely stepped up to the plate here, and our school district has stepped up to the plate and in supporting our community.
Well, it's already time for us to take a break. Scott Benson is Director of Schools for the Lebanon Special School District, and we got more to talk about after we go to a break here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:44. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota and Rental Lamprey, quality tractor implements including cutters, finish mowers, box blades, tillers, and more. 5-year gearbox warranty. Extremely durable and well-built. 1325 West Main. Now in traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. Traffic still moving right along at this point. Out here on 65, making your way up through Williamson County. Now, it's heavy, don't get me wrong. It's also slow here as they work this wreck. 24 westbound near 440 Ellington Parkway between Douglas and Cleveland Street on a two-car collision. Saunders at Broadmoor, that's tied up at that four-way stop due to that accident involving injuries. Nash Painting, serving families and businesses throughout Middle Tennessee. Call Nash Painting 615-85-PAINT. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
71 degrees all the way.
73 degrees, please.
So what's your perfect degree of comfort? We'll help you find it with professional Rheem HVAC service that'll keep your home comfy year-round, save on energy costs, and may qualify for utility rebates and tax credits. So enjoy a new degree of comfort.
72 degrees, and I'm good to go.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604. Introducing Radius, the next great zero-radius turn mower from Exmark. Available now for as little as $4,999 with attractive financing offers, too. With Exmark, you'll get a great-looking professional quality cut in less time, every time. From the mowers Landscape Pros trust 2-to-1 over the next best-selling brand. See your local Exmark dealer for complete pricing and finance details and schedule a free demo today. Stop by Absolute Kubota at 1325 West Main Street in Lebanon or call 615-449-6171.
Coleman and Company, it is a Tuesday, and Scott Benson, Director of Schools, Lebanon Special School District, is with us. We've had a lot of different people talking about the tornado since it all happened last week. Of course, we were off the air Tuesday with the power not being on, but from Wednesday on, everybody has told their story, kind of like you did, and I think it's made for good listening. I hope so. But this is something that we hope never happens, but it did. We've got life has to go on, and we've got to continue. But the stories about it and the way people have responded and the thank yous and kudos that have been given, I think, have been very tastefully done and very much needed to be done.
Absolutely. And the community just standing together to help each other out, and like you said, life goes on. So everybody pulling together. Just a couple more examples, Coleman, if I could mention. Of course, the City of Lebanon and LPD organized many efforts over the last week or so, but we've supplied buses, at least 4 or 5 buses a day, to include bus drivers from our school district to transport volunteers. I'm sure you're well aware, LPD, volunteers were showing up at the police station, and then they were taking the volunteers right into the need for cleanup efforts. And our buses are the ones that were transporting those folks. So I mentioned the Neon and the Family Resource Center. I will let everybody know that we're still accepting donations. I talked to Beth this morning at about 6:30. I was at the office, and she's been there. She's been opening the Family Resource Center from 6 to 6 every day. And just as quickly as donations come in, they're going right back out. But we're still accepting food and water and cleaning supplies, monetary donations as well to support our community. So I'll let everybody know that. At Coleman, we had staff members as well. As I was making my rounds last week with the Neon buses and some of the stops there. We had teachers and staff members literally with chainsaws and hauling brush and delivering coffee and hot chocolate going around and Sean mentioned that we had a couple of mild days right after the storm, and that was very helpful, of course. But then it got a little cool towards the end of the week, and so we had folks going right into the roads and neighborhoods where homes were damaged, and the homeowners, they were there with their homes and serving coffee and hot chocolate. So just trying to brighten their day. Again, we can move on from that topic, although I'll mention just a couple of things related. Beth had sent me this on an email. There is going to be a meeting this Thursday, March 12th at 10 o'clock at the Capitol Theater, and it's hosted by the City of Lebanon, the Chamber, LPD, and others, and it's a meeting for volunteers and victims. And they're invited to a meeting on Recover Lebanon and the next steps. So I wanted to make everybody aware of that. Again, that meeting is Thursday at 10 o'clock at the Capitol Theater, hosted by many in our community. As well as Beth sent me an email last night on this. And this came from our local DHS office, and they wanted us to get the information out that about the SNAP food stamp program. That if individuals, you did not have to have damage per se from the tornado, but if you lost power for 12 hours or more, you are eligible for replacement benefits with your SNAP food stamp benefit there. So you can go by the local DHS office, and it's over on Legends Drive, and you can receive that benefit there. So we can change subject here, Coleman, if you want to.
I guess most of the wind damage was just in the path of the tornado, but even with a construction site like you've got down on Coles Ferry Pike at
Hartman Drive.
Give us a thing, and I just wondered, was there any damage at all?
No, we didn't. We didn't have any damage on site there for our new elementary school that's under construction, Jones Brummett Elementary. Again, that open date is August of 21. So we're continuing to make progress, and we've had some bad weather and been slowed down just a little bit, but not tremendously. We're still right on track for the opening, but was there last week, and we were pouring floors, and they were out on machines spreading and making sure everything was smooth there. But that was exciting to me to see that the concrete floors there at the school. Lots going on behind the scenes as well. Still communicating yesterday with our architect and fine-tuning the interiors of the building and such. One thing that we're excited about that we're going to have a training on here in just a few weeks, we've purchased a software to help us with our zoning. And to this point, we've looked a lot at zoning, and that's going to be a pretty tricky puzzle, Coleman, by the way, just because of the proximity of our schools and the layout of our schools in our district. But we're about to go electronic with that. And so we're going to be excited about what that's going to offer to us. And the data, they import all the data right from our district on students and subgroups and low income and English language learners and boys and girls and grade levels and all those sorts of things. So this is going to be a tremendous asset for us when we officially rezone the district as a result of the opening of Jones Brummett. So excited about that. Well, I'm sure I'll share more in the coming months as we fine tune that. You look like you've got a question.
Well, I know that when we redistrict, the redistricting is required after each census, and at other times maybe if our population,
right,
if we have a representative, one representative has a lot more people than somebody else, this sort of thing, as far as our government goes. And I've heard of them having these gadgets. It's amazing. And even if you're just doing districts in the county here, how that you can have that available to you, and you make one little move and it tells you how many people.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
Yeah, we went through a demo with this product, and you're exactly right. We can just take a line and our mouse on the computer there and move it, left or right or down to the next street, and it just updates instantly and tells us again how many students would be enrolled in each school, and with all the information that we need about every student. So technology, when it works, it's a good thing, and so we're excited about that.
That is a tricky thing, I mean, a lot of people are not going to be necessarily happy, but you've got to do what's best for the whole system, and
that's always a difficult thing to do. We've, when we opened Winfrey Bryant in 2011, I guess, we had a major rezoning across the district, and we're going to follow that same plan pretty close, where we'll have several community meetings and meetings at the schools and reveal our plans to the community and let folks ask questions and talk to us and see the maps and those kind of things. So we'll do that again. But the nature of this rezoning, because because of the proximity of our schools and the layout in the community, and we want to create some growth space in all of our elementary schools. Yeah, so the way our community's growing, we've got developments all over town. You know that. Right. Yes. So we need to have room in every school for the folks that are coming, and it will impact a lot of the folks that live in the Lebanon Special School District. But we're going to try to handle that with care.
Part of that is the reason for building the new school.
Absolutely, yeah. We would be building right now. We haven't built one since Winfrey Bryant Middle, and we haven't built an elementary school since Castle Heights, which would have been 97, I think. We opened Castle Heights Elementary as an upper elementary at the time. Again, as a result of the growth here in our community.
Well, we got about 4 minutes left. Anything else that you see there comes to mind?
Yeah, let's talk about a few things here. Even though we're not in school this week, we have a group from Winfrey Bryant Middle School that they're taking a school trip to Washington, D.C., and so they left this past weekend, and I've been keeping up with them on Twitter and retweeting some of their tweets on our district site, Twitter site, at Lebanon SSD, so folks can go over there and see some of the pictures of our students. They're having a wonderful time in Washington, D.C. I'll mention this. We always like to talk sports, Coleman, and most of the time off the air. Hey, but kudos to Lebanon High School girls.
Oh, I'm glad I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, and also Mount Juliet High School boys won last night, so they're going. So let's talk about. I'm going to try to make it over tomorrow.
1:15
at the Murphy Center. the Lebanon High School girls play, and so that's exciting for our county to have two teams represented there, and back-to-back years, I think, for both of those teams returning to the state.
The Mount Juliet boys have done really well.
They have, yes.
And I think they've really gained a lot of steam since the first of the season. Come along real, but Coach Barrett has just, I think, done wonders.
He's done a wonderful job with those students, and of course, a great majority of those girls came through Lebanon Special School District, and I can remember them playing in the Blue League here in Lebanon, as well as at our middle schools. So that's exciting for the community. And Julie and I went out and watched the sub-state game, the sectional game this past Saturday, as well as the region finals as well. So we're jumping on that bandwagon and supporting the Devils.
Was there a good crowd there Saturday night?
There was a really nice crowd. Yeah. The gym was,
I didn't get to make
full.
it. I would like to, but it didn't work out. But and I hope we have a good turnout for them tomorrow in Murfreesboro.
Absolutely. Congratulations to them, and hey, let's go win the thing.
It'd be all right. Be nice, and but you have an interest in that. If several of those actually went to school in the Lebanon Special School District, so you're just following.
Yeah, absolutely, and and even though we talked about Wilson County schools and Dr. Wright and Mickey Hall and in the Mount Juliet segment this morning, I heard some of that. But we're all Wilson County, we're all Lebanon and Mount Juliet, and so we pull for each other and support each other. And I've definitely felt for Wilson County schools over the past week and the situation that they're in. So yeah, we're all the same community, and so they come through our school district and move on to majority of them to Lebanon High School, and so we support them.
Well, our sympathy, we want to work with them any way we can and appreciate the efforts that they're making under the dire circumstances. But on the other hand, there's a lot that you and the special school district have to be thankful for that you didn't have.
Absolutely.
You don't have these problems.
Yes, sir. We sure are.
Well, that's going to about do it. But we always appreciate your visit. And how long is it till school's out?
Well, good question. We have a stockpile day on Monday, so our teachers report on Monday. Students will come back Tuesday. Of course, we've got the TCAP window coming up in April, and then we get out of school. To answer your question, I had to wrap my head around it just a little bit, Coleman, so I gave myself a little time there. Right before Memorial Day.
Okay.
We get out right before Memorial Day.
Great. Well, thanks for being with us this morning. We'll see you next time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Scott Benson, Director of Schools for the Lebanon Special School District. That does it for a Tuesday. Join us tomorrow. Till then, I wish you a terrific day.